Caffeine is slowly killing your fat loss, and you don't even see it happening. You think caffeine is helping you stay energized, burn fat, crush your workouts, but in reality, most guys are drinking way too much caffeine that their cortisol levels are skyrocket high. Their sleep sucks, their recovery sucks, and their fat loss slows down. And the crazy part is you feel wired, but you're still tired. Make that make sense for me. Like your mind is racing, but your body is exhausted. Today in this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how too much caffeine actually destroys your fat burning potential, ruins your muscle recovery, and wrecks your hormones. And I'll show you how to fix that without quitting caffeine. All right. On this channel, we talk about doing things smarter, doing things with more moderation, and just being more strategic with everything. I've been doing this for 20 plus years in the fitness and health industry. I got my master's in sports and health sciences. I've been competing on the stage for 10 plus years on a bodybuilding stage, Miss Physique bodybuilding. I have a little bit of credibility, just a little bit, right? Not too much, just a little bit, right? So let's just get right into it. You guys know, no cuts, no edits. Let's just get right down to the nitty gritty. So caffeine has become a lifestyle and not a supplement. All right, think about that. You got your morning coffee, you got your pre-workout, then you got your midday energy drink, you got your afternoon iced coffee from Starbucks, you got more pre-workout, and then you got your nighttime gaming drink. All right, I know that sounds familiar to a lot of you. Men today are easily hitting 400 to 700 milligrams per day without even realizing it. That's not boosting your performance. All right. That's frying your nervous system. I'll say that again. That's frying your nervous system. What actually happens is your body goes into constant fight or flight mode, dumping cortisol all day long. And when cortisol is at an all-time high, your body stores more belly fat, sleeps less, recovers slower, builds less muscle, moves less during the day, and craves more sugar. This is the opposite of fat loss. All right. There's a study in the American Journal of Psychiatry which talks about caffeine significantly raising the cortisol levels even in habitual caffeine users. All right. So the meaning of this is even if you're used to caffeine, it still stresses your adrenals. Okay. Another study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism showed that elevated cortisol actually reduces fat oxidation and increases your muscle protein breakdown. I'll say that again. In the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, it showed that your elevated cortisol reduces fat oxidation and increases your muscle protein breakdown. So the meaning behind all of that, basically saying too much caffeine, your cortisol levels stay elevated. So that's slower fat loss, that's slower recovery, and that's worse gains overall. Okay. Now let's talk about adrenal fatigue. This is what it really looks like. People throw the word adrenal fatigue around, but the real issue is your cortisol dysregulation. That's the main thing. Your cortisol dysregulation. And I'm going to make that make sense for you guys. So here's how you know that you're overdoing caffeine. I'm going to give you some practical looks on what it looks like to overdo caffeine. You wake up tired. All right. You get you a good night's rest, but you're waking up tired. You're relying on pre-workout to start your training. All right. Now, this may be different for the folks who are out there, let's say after work, so the evening workouts, but relying on pre-workout to start your training, that's a good way to say that you are probably overdoing the caffeine. Another way, you feel wired during the day, but crash midday. So you got all your energy during the day, and then afternoon comes and you're cooked. You feel you can't fall asleep at night. So I know that's a huge one for a lot of us out here. You can't fall asleep at night. Another one is you get more anxious and irritable. All right. Another one is you crave sugar or salty foods. Another one is you don't recover between your workouts. Another one is you hit your plateaus faster. And the last one is your belly fat just won't budge. All right. Those are all key looks on you may be overdoing your caffeine. And the problem with all of those are the fact that because you're going through all of that, you think that you need more caffeine, but in all actuality, you just need less. All right. Now, yes, caffeine does, or let's say caffeine can boost your performance. And yes, caffeine can increase your strength and endurance, but only when it's used correctly. If you're using 400 milligrams pre-workout every single day, you're not getting performance benefits anymore. You're just preventing withdrawal symptoms. And that means you get no real energy boost, no extra strength, no better workouts, and no fat burning advantage. You're just getting more stress on the body, stress on the mind. Now let's talk about how caffeine kills fat loss. If you aren't subscribed, subscribe right now. We're almost done. But let's talk about how caffeine kills fat loss. All right. So I'm going to give you 5 ways on how caffeine actually kills your fat loss. The first thing, you got poor sleep. And if you have poor sleep, you will have lower fat loss. All right. One bad night of sleep drops your testosterone and increases ghrelin, which is your hunger hormone. Caffeine late in the day destroys your sleep quality. Let me say that again. Caffeine late in the day destroys your sleep quality. All right. The second way that caffeine kills your fat loss, high cortisol, that equals belly fat storage. I talk about that all the time on this channel. High cortisol equals belly fat storage. So your body stores fat when it feels threatened. Caffeine overload will keep you in stress mode all day. Cortisol is your stress hormone. High caffeine, too much caffeine will keep you in stress all day. Third thing, low recovery equals low muscle growth. All right. If your muscles aren't recovering, they're not growing. There's no way around that. If your muscles are not recovering, they're not growing. If they're not growing, you're not increasing your metabolism. The more muscle on your body, the faster your metabolism will be. All right. Fourth thing, energy roller coaster. That equals overeating. All right. Caffeine crashes. They make you crave carbs, crave sugar. So in the morning, you got all your energy, and then midday you hit that crash. Now you're starting to search for some sugar, some candy. You're starting to search for the carbs. You're trying to fill up on food, things like that. Caffeine crashes make you crave carbs and sugar. Okay, so the more caffeine you normally consume, the more you start to overeat. And the last thing right here on how caffeine is killing your fat loss is the constant stimulation. It decreases your NEAT. All right. You think caffeine makes you move more, but overstimulation leads to burnout and less movement over time, not more. All right. So how can we fix this, right? How can we consume caffeine in a smarter, more strategic way? Because you don't have to quit caffeine. You just want to make sure that you are consuming the caffeine smarter. So here's how to reset your energy, your balanced cortisol, and maximize your fat loss. All right. Practical tips. I got 6 of them for you. Practical tips. First one is capping your intake, your caffeine intake at 200 to 250 milligrams per day. So this right here is a sweet spot for energy without overstimulation. 200 to 250 milligrams per day. Second thing, no caffeine for the first 60 to 90 minutes after waking up. This is a huge one. This lets the cortisol follow its natural rhythm, reducing your stress. All right. So no caffeine the first 60 to 90 minutes after waking up. Number 3, step 3, no caffeine after 2 p.m. Even if you sleep fine, your sleep quality is being crushed. So no caffeine after 2 p.m. Again, this is going to be extremely hard for the folks out there who train after work and they consume pre-workout. But these are just practical tips that you can try to incorporate in your lifestyle to make sure that you're not overdoing the caffeine and that you're actually getting the fat loss gains that you are seeking. Fourth step, avoid stacking your caffeine sources. All right. So no, you don't want to do the coffee and the pre-workout. You don't want to do the energy drink and the coffee. You don't want to be double scooping your pre-workouts and trying to overload on the milligrams of caffeine that it has. unless recommended on the actual container itself. If you need more caffeine, if you need that much caffeine that you think your body needs, your body is exhausted. All right. Not understimulated. I want you to think about that. Your body is already exhausted. It is not understimulated. You don't need more caffeine to wake your body up. You are exhausted. You need recovery. Fifth step. We got two more. Fifth step. You need to switch to low caffeine or stimulant-free pre-workouts. You don't need the 400 milligrams to train. You don't need it. You need sleep. You need hydration. You need electrolytes, and you need the fuel. All right. You don't need more caffeine. You don't need 400 milligrams. Okay. I'm talking to a specific audience out there. All right. I'm talking to my 30 and up guys, and I'm talking about my guys who are struggling with fat loss, not actually seeing the gains, and you may be consuming too much caffeine. Talking to a specific amount. And I want to say that because the pre-workout that I take is 400 milligrams. It is 400 milligrams of caffeine, or there was a time where I was taking 400 milligrams of caffeine pre-workout. Right now I'm at 300. Right. But I don't do any caffeine throughout the day. The only caffeine I intake is the 300 milligrams pre-workout. So 300 milligrams per day for me. So that's why I had to make sure I said that. Now, the last step that you could implement in your lifestyle and try to fix your habits is once a month, do a 3-day caffeine deload. Cut it out completely. No, not a detox, just trying to normalize your periods. And I'm talking about your caffeine periods. Don't go crazy on me. Just trying to normalize the periods of when you're actually consuming the caffeine. So once a month, 3-day caffeine deload. We talk about it all the time at the gym, me and the fellas. Taking a step back from your supplements once a month is always good to remove that toleration on whatever it is that you are actually intaking, right? So you can think of it as a cycle. You want to cycle off for some time, or you just keep it in routine, and so don't consume the pre-workout every single day. You got 6 days that you train, 5 days that you train, only consume the pre-workout 3 days, only consume it 2 days, in moderation. Your adrenal system needs a break. That's why you do the deload. All right. So what happens when you fix your caffeine use? This is what's going to happen if you actually do the 6 steps that I talked about. This is what's going to happen. And it's within 7 to 10 days. And the studies are out there already proving this. All right. This is what's going to happen if you fix your caffeine intake. You're going to have deeper sleep. You're going to be waking up with more natural energy. You're going to have better pumps in the gym. You're going to have faster muscle recovery. You're going to have better moods. You're going to have easier fat loss. You're going to have less cravings. You're going to have more consistent workouts. You're going to have less anxiety, and you're going to have better digestion. All right. Your body wants to operate smoothly. You just need to stop overstimulating it. Okay. Final reality check for you guys. Caffeine isn't the enemy. Let me repeat that. Caffeine isn't the enemy. Overusing it is the enemy. All right. You don't need to quit caffeine. You don't need to quit your coffee. You don't need to give up your pre-workouts. You just need to use your caffeine strategically, not emotionally. All right. Your fat loss, your muscle growth, your energy levels, your hormones, all of it improves when you manage your caffeine the right way. Okay. Now, if this video opened your eyes at all, good. Because most guys never connect their caffeine habits to their fat loss struggles. Now, if you want to build muscle, if you want to burn fat, if you want to fix your energy naturally, I need you guys to hit me up in the comment section. I need you guys to hit me up in email. I need you guys to click the first link in the description box, which is going to be a 5-day quick start. I need you guys to do these things and actually take it serious if you want the fat loss. But if you clicked on this video, 9 times out of 10, you are seeking fat loss and you are struggling. And this may be the issue. Okay. Caffeine may be your issue. I need you guys to tap in with me. Let's get one-on-one personalized coaching. Let's get you dialed in. All right. Time is on your time is getting away from you. 30 and up, time is getting away from you. Get that metabolism in check now before you get too old, man. I'm trying to tell you. All right. Now, I do have a playlist down below where you can watch videos like this where I'm just talking to you directly, just giving you the facts, no cuts, no edits. I might stumble over words here and there, but it is what it is because I'm just giving you guys all my notes that I have right here. And this is how I talk to my clients. This is what I give my clients, and I'm giving it to you guys for free. All right, let's get to work, cut the caffeine, Use the caffeine strategically. Take all this knowledge that I give you with a grain of salt if you need to, but take it for what it is. I gave you the studies. I'm giving you the science. I'm giving you the game. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to catch y'all in the next one.